Welcome back everyone to the Player 1 Selfish stream with a lovely bit of SimCity 2000. Pardon me, I've dealing with a bit of a runny nose and cough today, so hopefully that won't turn into anything more significant than it is now, but either way I think it'll be fine. Where we left off last time, we'd gotten Twitchton up into a profitable but small town. Assuming that we take no action for the next 32 years, the power plant will explode as expected, but we should actually end up with enough money to cover the cost of replacing it, which is definitely a good thing. Now, as far as getting everything sort of kosher in the meantime, it doesn't make any sense for us to leave everything how it was originally. We don't want to just run it for however many years and hope for the best. It would be significantly better for us, as a matter of fact, if instead we try and expand. If we just let it sit, we know we're okay, but if we expand out further in the meantime, then the advantage that that gives us is that we can bring in more tax revenue on a broader city plan. Oh, excuse me. With that initial additional tax revenue, that'll let us keep expanding while still managing the financial burden of building a new power plant when the time comes. Another option is to start building hydro dams, but as I said last time, as much trouble as that would save, it is very cheaty, so I'm a bit hesitant to do that. We still have some technical problems. I've been... Oh, hello, Mel. So we still have some technical issues. I was testing it out earlier. I've helpfully made sure that it no longer crashes when you hit the right arrow, at least for the moment. I still don't really know why it was doing that before, and I don't know why it's not doing it now. But it's not doing it now, and that's good enough for me. Now we're still having some issues with traffic, and I don't think that's ever gonna really go anywhere until we can like either make a bypass road someplace, or I mean, it actually might be worth building a bridge, a couple of bridges, one here and then another one here. I don't love the idea of carving the lake up that way, but I think that might be the only thing that we can really do to alleviate the traffic problem as it currently stands, other than just giving people more places to go instead of just the one road. I mean, another option is, of course, to just bulldoze the lake, but it's so pretty and nice, and Lakeside Elementary could end up in the middle of a full flattened out little area, which would make no sense at all. So at this stage, what I'm inclined to do is to continue putting up dense housing over this direction, right around here, and kind of just see what evolves in that area as the housing goes up. Now, to make full use of this, we do need it to be at least 3 tiles by 3 tiles for any given area. And that's going to allow the largest buildings to be constructed. So, for example, we would not want to just put it right here and hope for the best. We could probably get a small tower right here, but we wouldn't get like the kind of larger buildings that we're hoping for. So, what I've decided to do with this actually going to extend this out a little bit. We're going to build 3 blocks of 3x3, run the road and the power up along this, and make sure to water it as well. And then if that gives us more demand for other areas, then we can fill in right along here as well. And that'll be a good start on getting this area up and running. We do want to save some space over here. Actually, you know what? This is a bit of a waste of money, just because I'm going to de-zone this area. But we're going to build a road here. And what that's going to let us do is fill these tiles in without actually building a road going this direction. And to fix that, we're just going to... Whoops. Nope, we're going to run out of money. That's what we're going to do. We're going to be completely broke again. But that's okay. It's December 1919, and we've got some tax revenue coming in. Actually, a pretty decent amount for a city this small. Tax guy wants taxes, and everything else appears to be pretty much fine. And rule of thumb, as with last time, is going to be frequent saves. If I can actually manage to remember to do it this time, so that if we continue having random basilisk crashes, that it won't be too disastrous this go around. I'm still very much wanting to put more residential up over here, but I think that's going to need to wait. I want to put the rest of this in first. And that actually doesn't need any more roads because this is covering the whole thing. Let's get some new water mains running through here. Ooh, having some erratic lag. That was not happening last time, but I think that might be because I upped the speed of the graphics processor. Alright, so I think right now what we need to do is just get this area sorted out, and hopefully it should handle itself once the buildings over here are constructed. That should give us some good information about the RCI indicators to make sure that everything's up and running there. I don't love how far away the industrial may not have as high property values as I would hope, but I guess we'll see. There isn't a ton to do about that, unfortunately, except just wait and see how it shakes out. We're getting some decent-sized buildings over here. That's good. Got some larger stuff coming up, and that warehouse wasn't instantly abandoned, which is also nice. So let's kick the speed up since we're not actually doing much of anything. Crime is low, fire response is good, and yeah, alright. Now on that tax rate, what do we want to do here? We don't have enough commercial to make it worth taxing. We can increase... Now why isn't that changing the readout? Huh. That's a little funky. I should be changing this readout here, but it isn't. I wonder if this is just showing our last year in red there. Well. Yeah, we'll raise the property tax a little bit for residential and leave everything else where it is, because right now We want commercial to grow, and industrial is currently way in the negative, which means that our main industrial section is not being used very well. So we definitely do want to increase the desirability of that area so that the land values go up and generally things start looking a little bit better on that end. Buses! Buses. Buses are actually going to be an excellent investment here, I think. Wet weather ahead. So... Alright, so now on the topic of this weather alert here, we don't have to worry too much about this necessarily, but we do want to be on the lookout for hurricane conditions. I mean, not that there's a lot we're going to be able to do about it until it actually happens, if it decides to just suddenly dump on us. But the thing that concerns me is that the last time that a hurricane happened, it was only for a second because the game instantly crashed. Like, really, really hard. So we do want to be aware of that. We may even want to turn disasters off just to keep the game stable. But I think probably I'll only do that if the same crash happens again. Either way, buses. Dr. Maynard announced yesterday at the annual Developers Upper Mind Brainstorm Conference in Bremen the innovation of the century, public busing. Related projects have been in development for years, but it wasn't until a group of businessmen in Manchester found the misplaced link that led to public busing. Manchester residents can expect to have public busing as a spoke in the wheel of everyday life as soon as the year's end. Having public busing in our warm city will solve a lot of our problems, remarked Manchester Mayor Williams. Progressive cities are expected to follow suit, constructing public, I assume, buses. Now, we definitely want to get on that. Because we have already got a serious traffic issue, which we're not going to be able to correct without the aid of buses, subways, maybe even highways, although there's not really a good space for those. So, yeah, I think buses are going to be the way to go pretty much immediately, actually. So we've got $267. How much? Our bus depot's $250. So we can basically put one of these up a year, and not a lot else. Let's take a look at the budget. So yeah, this is produced. Yeah, this is definitely produced a fair amount for us. Let's see, the industrial demand is recovering, which is good. Let's reduce this and actually increase taxes across the board. That should give us a fair amount extra, which by next year will give us enough for 2 bus depots. And then the following year we should be able to put a third one in. So we'll want to probably bulldoze this, and this to make room for those. And that'll alleviate the 3 worst spots of traffic. And then we can add more later as they're still needed by that point. And we'll want to start for sure with this spot in the middle here. We do have to wipe out a few people's houses in order to make this work. Bus depot. Toot toot. So, alright. Bus is there, and where else do we want them? We want them... Let's see, I think the industrial area is probably the most urgent. That way. And we're just gonna knock down this warehouse right here and put buses. Oh no! Oh no, I'm an idiot. Wait a minute. Got redundant power all over the place, so I think it's going to be okay to wait for the remainder of the year, but for some reason this is saying it's not powered. Oh crap. Wait a minute. Yeah, I guess they deserved that. just restore our redundant power with the last of this year's funds. Ah, nice. We're still growing despite the increase in taxes. Which also means that all three of these guys want more money, so... We'll probably want to take a look at the coverage maps later and see if we need to invest in additional services. So we'll have $328 this year. Turkestan installs highways. Highways, highways, highways. We don't need highways because we do not have enough distance to make them work. Market kills. News of steady growth throughout Twitchton. I'm convinced housing construction isn't always 100% reliable as a market indicator, noted Mr. Wright, a noted purveyor of the nice old days. That would be because Mr. Wright is Will Wright himself, the designer of this series at the time. Messed up priorities. Dear Miss Sim, I've got a hangnail signed desperate. Dear Desperate, don't waste any time. Read the following letter for a reality check. Holy crap! Wow, that's grim. Dear Miss Sim, I think I'm going to kill myself. I told my boyfriend, but he thinks I'm playing hard to get. My parents don't care about me, and why should you? Signed, Adios. Dear Adios, I do care. Please call for help. A lot of inhabitants feel the desperation you do, because life can be rough. But when you're at the bottom, the future can only look up. Well, unless you're not quite at the bottom. Man, wow. That's significantly darker than I expected to find in here. Never seen that article before. Let's see. So this is a warning. Oh no. You're gonna die. Fish turn blue. A distraught street gang has changed coats this week. Okay. The dictaphones, the neighbors, the fishs. I have no comment at this time, said me. Typical. Okay. Daycare business. So that means that we're doing well on job opportunities, which is probably why all of our demands are up, except the residents. Which is pretty good. I'm happy with that. Alright, let's slow it back down. Make some room for buses. 1, 2, 3, 4. Buses. And I'm broke. Oh my gosh. This game, man. Alright, demand indicators remain relatively up. Alright, there's our bus system. That's probably about as good as we want it for now. The only other place that we'd want to put something is right here, and I don't think we've got the money to do that for another year or so. Bare minimum. Oh, we got a big building coming up over here. This ought to be good. High density industrial construction. Low crime, low pollution, and it's a giant industrial building. Oh, this is pretty. Ah, nice. Tall condos. We're starting to be able to pretend we're modern. That's not a good sound. What's that? What the heck was that? Why was there an explosion sound? What the heck? What? What on earth was that? Looks like the game volume is a little loud, so I will adjust that down a little bit. Wow, okay, so giant explosion sound and no indication whatsoever of where that came from or why it happened. That's, I mean, I'm spooked. It's a bit unsettling. Our residential demand is shrinking to the point that even the relatively nice areas are actually going vacant. So, you know what we're going to want to do? Is lower the tax rate on residences. Property tax rate has just gone down. Hopefully we'll see that recover by the end of the year. What's our big building over here? A large warehouse. 33,000 an acre compared to 87,000 an acre across the street, although it's not watered. Oh, water shortage, right. We need water pumps. For which we have no money. Okay, well, let's get a pump stack going here. Let's see. Looks like that one pump is actually covering the need. So the shortage is over, but we definitely still need more pumps put together. And we will also definitely want to put that other bus station in because the traffic there is still pretty bad. Ooh, that's rough. We're suddenly finding ourselves with a bit extra demand. And fittingly, we were getting a bit of the sad music for a minute. Great music. Great music for a great game. We'll probably want to invest in a water tower at some point. At least one, probably a couple. But that's a little ways off since we're a little strapped for cash, and we will probably continue to be strapped for cash for the foreseeable future. So let's see, water pumps are the priority right now. We've got room for 5 of them next to the lake. We'll start with 2. The only thing to really do to speed this process up is to take out a bond. But based on what that did to Mosstown, I'm hesitant, to say the least. I'd rather not do that unless we have no other choice. Let's, while we're waiting, let's take a quick look at the map, and especially at the overlays for said map. Firepower is looking good. Land value is looking fantastic. Things there are great. Pollution's down, which is good. Crime rate is also down. The police power is a little sparse, but it's looking like it's okay. Population density is about what you'd expect. Rate of growth, it's mostly steady, which I'll take. Everything's watered, everything's powered. And the bus has definitely helped quite a bit here, here, and all the way along there, but this is still in need of some help. Alright, yeah, so that's good information. We're in good shape. Things are alright. Not perfect, but pretty good. All the little cars doing the ant crawling animation. Just briefly skip us ahead a little. Fire response needs more money. Boo, tax guy. Ah. So we'll go up to $301, which is enough for the last 3 pumps. So that'll keep us watered for a while. We don't have to worry about that for another few years at least. Just jump us ahead to this December. What are these? Bed and breakfast inns. And a pair of gas stations right next to each other. You know what? That's weird, but sure, why not? That's fine. Looks like we got another big building coming up over here, which is nice. That's always cool. Too many So I think he's probably griping about like this area, this bit over here. Probably this is what he's most complaining about. But we don't want to do that. The maintenance isn't costing us particularly much, and more importantly, we are going to need those roads later. So, while he is right that it would save on maintenance costs, it would not save significantly, and it would also be tremendously costly compared to the amount of savings. Which is to say, you know, $2 to wipe away the road and the rubble, $10 to put it back later for each tile, so that's $12 per tile, and each year it's costing us maybe $1. So that's not super practical. Let's see, one more bus station. That's what I'm thinking. 1, 2, 3, 4, and bus. Toot toot. So, alright, we got our new bus stations, all 4 of them, excuse me, which should actually, it looks like the catchment on those should be plenty. That'll alleviate pretty much all the traffic problems we have right now. Eventually we're going to want another one to go in probably here. Actually here, because that'll let us extend the road in more directions. But we don't need that just yet, since we don't really have any traffic issues over there. We're going to want another one in this area, I'd imagine. Maybe one here, depending on whether this gets any better over time. Which, it looks like it's pretty much immediately improved, so I think we're okay as far as that's concerned. And yeah, we still want the Chronicle. Yeah. I think we're good on settings, so we don't need to fuss with that right now. Let's see, how are those land values? I'm curious, actually. Ooh, that lag. Lag is doing bad things to the music. Land values are already staggeringly high, so I don't need to worry about anything in this area. I was pondering the prospect of setting a park up right here, but I don't think we need to do that. Demand for just about everything is up quite a bit, which is excellent. Don't mind the horrific magenta nonsense over there. Traffic is down, pollution is down, value is up, crime is about where it always has been, education still needs some help. We have no unemployment. Wow. Tax guy demands taxes. Tax guy demands taxes! But I don't care because our taxes are fine. Let's see, we do need to make sure that we have enough money to cover the replacement power plant in 30 years. 25, ooh, 20, 23 years, oh crap. Yeah, that's getting pretty close actually. What we may want to do is wait until it blows up, take out a bond, and then, I don't know, just not grow for another 50 years. That would give us $60 or $6,000. I don't think any new power technologies come out until after the 50s. So we're pretty much just stuck with another coal plant at that point. Which, I mean, I don't love that, for sure, but I'm not sure that we have a choice. So, the position that leaves us in is expand or die. So, let's start meeting some demand. For the power, and we'll make sure that the piping is laid here as well. And that should meet the demand for commercial for the moment. Not permanently, I'm sure, but it'll at least stall our inevitable problems. And yes, I have sped the game up a bit. And we really don't have any problems with crime right now. We've literally never given money to the police department except that first year. Commercial district has gone up with very little fuss, which is superb, I think. I'm willing to call that good. Let's put some light commercial down over here. Just going up this hill, we'll have a nice little shopping district. Where to build next with our $198. Big money, big money, big money, as they say. Down a little bit more over here and run some power lines up the hill. Should be fine. Make sure that's all connected so that when we inevitably build along that, we will have some kind of means of getting water out without having to rebuild everything. What are you? It's a lovely building. I don't think I'll ever get over just how lovely this game's graphics are. Like, it's just had so much care put into it, you know? Now what to do with our remaining money for the year? There's no sense in keeping it for now. On account of we need to keep expanding regardless of anything else. So we need, wow, 300 bucks. Okay. Well, in preparation for that move, what we're going to do is actually level that tile. That'll let us run a road around here without having to mess around with it too badly. I mean, terraforming is preposterously expensive. We leveled literally one tile and it's cost us 50 bucks. So, we of course have to be very careful about that. Okay, so for anyone who hasn't seen this before, if you reduce the funding of the Transit Authority by any amount whatsoever, this happens. You can't cut back on funding, you will regret this! And it's true, you will regret it quite a lot, actually. Because when you reduce funding for the roads, your roads will randomly self-destruct. Which, living in Salt Lake City, as I do, I can tell you that's actually a very real problem. So we don't want that. Let's see. Let's start preparing this area for expansion. It's going to pretty much take all the money we've got for another, this year, next year, probably both. However, once that is flattened out, we can use that to put down a nice little, nice smoothed out area. And use that for tax revenue. We love our tax revenue here. It's very important to us. We're pretty much holding steady. So we can't really afford to build more residential, but we can get a little bit more money out of the residential that we have. The aeroplane has been created at Sydney University. A research team led by the eminent Dr. Sirica has perfected the aeroplane. Dr. Sirica has perfected the aeroplane. I mean, yeah, you mentioned. Sydney Mayor Stevens has presented the professor with the key to the municipality to celebrate this major event. Dr. Sirica forcefully denied responsibility and constructed the breakthrough on the shoulders of his lab workers. They did everything, I just had a simple idea. So he's humble. Sydney University President Harris is overjoyed with the fame this event brings to his institution. With the aeroplane to our credit, especially the way it will help our denizens, Sydney University's attendance will fly off the charts. Hey, our fees could too. Okay, so we've got a warning about a tornado somewhere else. Road baseball. Hey, traffic isn't a problem. That's generous. Ooh, Captain Hero has appeared for the first time. We might actually see him later on, once we get more skyscrapers. Weather talk, clear skies forecast. Teachers desire support. Oof. Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying. I don't have money for a college. I'm sorry. Dear Miss Sim, I can never tell the truth. Wait, that's not true. I can tell the truth when it benefits me, but if I can get anything out of lying, I'll do it. Nervously. It's like I don't have a choice. I mean, it's really weird. It's like I go on autopilot and talk before I can think how to respond. Inhabitants can't seem to detect that I'm lying through my teeth. Have you heard of this problem before? What should I do? Signed, Always a Liar. Dear Always, have you considered a job in sales? Oh, boy. Or politics. Alright. Teen workers. So our labor pool is having some issues. You know, that's actually very weird. Hold on, let's finish this first. But then let's pause it and take a look at the graphs here. So according to this, the workforce, we've got 59% of our citizens in the workforce starting at age 20. So, people are only making it to 80. That's a little concerning. I mean, the life expectancy isn't amazing. And we're really being limited by the missing college. How much is that going to run us? $1,000. That's going to be really difficult to find the money for, I think. And airport is 250 a tile, seaport is 150 a tile. We haven't actually finished the seaport yet. Subways are $100 a tile. Substations are 250, and sub-to-rail is 250. The railway only being 25, so that might be viable for some of this. The depots are really expensive, so... Oh, excuse me. So we're probably gonna need to wait on all of that for the next quite a while, realistically. Let's see, we need a 4x4 for the college, which is probably gonna be our next real priority. Probably the nicest that road's ever gonna get. These hillside areas are really difficult to build out just because of the way that the roads fit together. That's not true. They're very easy to build out. They're very difficult to build out in such a way that they are aesthetically pleasing and functional. Pardon me. All right, let's get us back off of pause. Looks like we might still have a traffic issue on a couple of these spots. 62 cars a minute, 69 cars a minute, 70, 76, 73. Oof. Well, I mean, it's not great on those areas, but at least we're not in like constant traffic jam territory anymore. So let's see, we need $1,000 for the college. We need we need another $4,000 to replace the power plants. We need $5,000 in the next 20 years. And if we can't get it, then a bond is the only way to proceed. And honestly, that just blows. There isn't really anything that we're going to be able to do about it when the time comes. Early taxes! So at this point, yeah, I mean our ordinances are still sucking up the money, but not as bad compared to before. The fire department is actually pretty expensive. So it might be worth looking into buying another one of those. $500 for fire station. Where would we put it if we were to purchase such a thing? We need the map. So the new fire station would need to be someplace over here, or maybe even by the docks. I'm thinking we'd put it over here because this is kind of our new civic improvements region. And in fact, to prepare for that, there we go. Now we've got a spot for it. We can put some residential next to it just while we're at it. That should be covered. Then we'll run the road down. No, we don't want to do that. We want to run the road this way. So yeah, the fire department's going to go here. And then we'll have the college down here someplace, wherever makes sense. Gonna water this area as well. And then these buildings should hopefully take care of themselves. That is already built, so we don't have to worry about that. So yeah, once these homes are constructed, then they'll all have water. Might take a little while to get there, but that's okay. The water mains, getting the water mains in place is important, so. Hello? I was gonna say, you're supposed to have water, you're next to a water source. And, I'll leave my hat if we've got another shortage after all that. All that fuss earlier. Good tea. You know, buddy, I would love to raise taxes, but then I wouldn't have a city anymore. So, okay. Let's see what we can do about finagling the fire station costs down. We need to immediately lower this as far as it'll go. So yeah, that saves us 4 per year, so it'll take a very long time for it to pay off. at least in terms of direct monetary gain. Hopefully that'll keep any fires from breaking out in the meantime, because that would just straight up suck. Next thing to do is the college. We can take a look at the age versus tax rate here. And construction is still wildly out in front of everything else. Even though the demand is nothing special. Okay, so we need 4 years revenue for the college. Adequate. No, don't do that to me. Okay, so it's possible that the fire department change-up was a bad idea. That's alright, we'll survive. $600. Raise taxes, yay! Yay! Raise taxes! Okay, so we're almost there as far as getting our nice new college. Should be able to do that this coming year, 1936. That gives us 14 years to raise $4,000, which at our current rate, pulling in, let's see, it takes 4 years, every $1,000 or so. Ooh, that's gonna be close. It's gonna be really, really close. We may need to take we're almost certainly gonna need to take out a bond, actually. Or just raise taxes. I mean, that's also a possibility. And we actually are going to boost the industrial tax rate because we've got plenty of industry right now. Or we have a decent amount of industry, but we have, more importantly, plenty of demand for industry, which means that people might put up with a higher tax rate for a short time. Okay. College time. I'm thinking here. No, here. So let's just run that road around it. Alright. Power. It's already got water. And it's actually already got a road, but I'm still going to build more anyway. Alright, now let's check the budget and see how education guy thinks we're doing. How low will you go? Okay, so 60% is the lowest we can go at the moment. Which sucks a little bit. We're still making 260 this year. Will industry tolerate another rate hike? Let's just watch all of the industrial buildings go vacant all at once. They tolerated it. they completely tolerated it. Industrial demand went down slightly, but that's all. Yeah, I did raise taxes, you jerk. Okay, let's see what happens here. Alright, so the residential areas did not love what I did there, but it looks like there's still some turnover. Cut back on the services until our funds increase. I mean, you say that, but there are no services except these, and we can't really get rid of any of them. I mean, look, roads are the things we least need maintained right now, and this is what happens if I cut back on the roads, so we're not doing that. $673, March 1938. We have 12 years to raise $3,327. And now let's just set it to way too fast for a minute and see what happens. Ooh. Alright, the tax problem has caught up with us. So the RCI indicators are actually responsive to one another and to the overall population. So as we're losing people in the city, which is related to a certain tax decision I made a minute ago, as we lose people and also therefore lose our tax base, we're also losing demand for commercial, so those buildings are going to get moved out of. It's basically a cascade if we don't stop it, which I have, of course, just done. So hopefully yeah, it's not good. Let's level out the tax rate and get it all down a little bit further. Yeah, demand is way in the negative. We actually need to bring it down further. Yeah, we're definitely going to need a definitely going to absolutely require a bond, which is really unfortunate, but that's okay. Lower! You want the taxes lower? Are you joking me? It's already down to 7%. You are a crazy man. We're already losing money. Okay, so the industrial demand has recovered a little bit, so we're actually going to pump that back up to 8. Actually, yeah, let's just run it up by 1 across the board. Raise taxes. No, we want to keep our commercial investment. The residential tax rate is coming back up to 9%. Oh, there's no way. We're not going to have it. Water treatment. Oh, hey. Alright. So, ant ranchers in particular. The water treatment plants will change the lives of citizens everywhere, ant ranchers in particular. It's something that everyone will benefit from. You just don't know how long I've waited for this, said a hastily bold mother overcome with hunger. Morning fogs. Mutant pony. The lesser family is a typical Twitchton family with a typical pony for a pet. At least their pet was typical until they moved to Twitchton. A growth started on their pony's elbow shortly after their arrival to this metropolis. Metropolis might be overselling it, but thanks, I guess. Let's see. Over the course of 3 weeks, the growth transformed into an extra elbow. Experts agree that the change is the result of toxic waste. Richards Labs claims that the industries are dumping large amounts of bad garbage into the city's sewer system. Twitchton needs a better treatment facility or stricter pollution controls, exclaimed EPA Representative Dr. Bremer. Incidentally, the Lesser family is holding a pony viewing fundraiser to raise dollars for fighting something. Okay, so what I'm hearing is we've got treat the water with more toxic waste. Yeah, so the problem is that we're already doing that. So I'm going to need to take a look at the pollution. We've already got pollution controls enabled. That ordinance is already enacted. So we can't make that just go away. But we may be able to mitigate it somewhat. Perhaps. So we'll want... Yeah, we'll for sure want water treatment. Yay! Dear Miss Sim, I'm having this recurring nightmare lately where I dream that I'm just a simulation in a computer-generated metropolis, and the denizens who created the simulation worship llamas and tell these really tough puns. Signed, Llama-phobic. Dear Llama, living within a computer simulation? Simpossible. Llama worship? Ludicrous. Nasty puns? Gag me. Actually, llama worship is quite prevalent in many cultures. Did you know that the llama can go for weeks without drinking water? That's right. Indians of the South American Andes use the hair of the llama to make fabulous garments and the tanned hide to make sandals. Llamas also make excellent, I assume, pets. I mean, it's not subtle exactly. Tuxes. Alright, services are good. Slow it back down and see where we're at. So we've got 5 years to make up the remaining $2,500. That's quite a lot. Water treatment is $500. Can probably just sneak it in up here on the hill, maybe. I don't know what just happened to the music for a second there. Well, I don't know there's much that can be done at this point. I'm feeling like the water treatment plant is important at this stage. Put it down by the ocean so that they can make sure that any waste material from the treatment plant can get flushed away into the ocean. It's only fair. Of course, later we'll be filling the rest of this in with more seaport. But at least right now... Put that up while we're at it. Honestly, this is a priority. And if we're going to take out a bond anyway, there's not much that we can do to avoid that need. Alright, so at this point we're pretty much in damage mitigation mode. Okay, so we've already got some water stored for the next shortage. Just about 1 month's worth of water for each of these pumps. School's still doing well. Hospital is doing better than last time I checked. Response time 8 minutes. It's not bad at all. $97 arrests out of 415 crimes reported, and we have no officers and no money. I honestly... I have some questions about how this police station operates. We have yet to give them any money at all whatsoever, and yet they seem to be doing their jobs. RIP police, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. Let's see. Attendance 198, capacity 5,000. Well, that's not ideal. Still, one teacher for every 4 students. That's not bad. That's basically a tutoring environment. Commercial demand is up. I wonder why they're not using this building. Alright, let's go take a look at our ticking time bomb over here. Now, will they tolerate 10% residential and industrial tax? Oh man, it's already almost sunk us once. 87% of capacity, so that's what even is that? That's 170 something. Just dread. Yeah, that'd explain some things. No crime. There is no crime in this city. He's just very passionate about his job. So we're using something like 180, just shy of 180 megawatts, and we've got 4 years to live, and then the power plant explodes, and it's gonna suck. Oh man, I'm not looking forward to that. I mean, there's literally nothing to do for it either. Just it's gonna explode. There's nothing I can do. Okay, that should hopefully get our residential back on track. See, if people are moving out, that means that... Whoa! Oh no. Oh no, they don't like it. That's the most we can sustain. Okay, that stuff's fine. It will probably continue to be fine as long as we don't expand. So I don't know if you guys saw that, but the RCI indicators all just dropped as soon as I did that last tax hike. Which is not surprising. I would do the same thing in the position of these Sims. I would 100% just be like, nope, not having that. So I don't blame them necessarily, but at the same time, boy, I'd sure rather that they let me tax them a little bit more, because the bond payments are gonna just destroy this town. Oh boy. Okay, so the residential demand is doing okay, commercial is dropping fast. I think we might need to replace downtown with some high-density housing. I don't really see another way out of this, unfortunately. The newspaper's on strike? Pardon me? Hang on. What do you mean the newspaper is on strike? I've never seen that happen before. What does that mean? Hold on. I mean... That's what I have to say to that. That's what I have to say to the newspaper strike. Guy asked me for a quarter for a cup of coffee, so I bid him. In my entire life, I've never understood this joke. Okay, so we have... Oh, man. We're not even to halfway. Man, we're gonna die. We're gonna die. We have to take out a bond, and it's gonna kill us. Coincidentally, the extra report that we should have received there, but didn't because of the strike, was it telling us that the power plant is going to explode. Wow. Newspaper's on strike. What do you mean the newspaper is on strike? How can the newspaper be on strike? You know what? I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up. No one's even explaining this. What does this mean? The newspaper is on strike. What does that mean? Oh boy, there it goes. Well, let's get that budget window open so that we can take out a bond. Well, based on what I'm seeing here, so strange. I mean, somebody's dumped all of the strings from SimCity 2000, and it's included there, but as far as I can tell, literally no one else has ever seen this before, except one time somebody installed the game wrong and had that happen. So, not sure what that means. Okay, so the bank rate is 5% for the current one. We have a AAA loan rating. Ugh, I really don't. Oh boy. $250 every year in addition to everything else. Alright. Well, this is an absolute disaster. The newspaper is on strike. Well, and it also killed the music. Something is very strange about this. I mean, beyond the obvious. Okay, everything's powering back up slowly. Alright, so the city is at least alive again. We have $8,111 in bonds and a crap load of bond payments. What is this? What the heck? It's $50 a month? No! Oh, that's screwed up. Look at this guy's smug face. These outstanding bonds are killing us. Raise taxes to pay them off. Yes. Screw you. Screw you, your raised taxes crap. Even this guy, even this like, this Frankenstein's monster wannabe over here. He doesn't think it's a good idea. It's taking literally all of our tax money to pay off the bond for 1 year. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, well, let's see what we can do about that. I'm not super good at this game, to be perfectly honest. So we have to lower residential tax rate. I mean, this is a death spiral pretty much already that we're seeing happen here. We're in pretty bad shape. To be perfectly frank, it was probably a mistake to go for the college and the second fire department. I think if we'd waited on both of those, we might have been able to pull through. But I didn't wait, and now here we are. Okay. I mean, basically, the second you take out a bond, you're done. Like, you're done. So, any suggestions, anybody? I'm currently still trying to figure out what happened with the strikes thing. The strike, whatever. Strike. Not found in the manual. Which concerns me somewhat. Ooh. And I mean, this thing's already at 84% capacity. We honestly don't have long before we're going to start getting brownouts as well. Huh. Well, it's certainly not a good situation. So I'm going to let this run for a few moments. Well, actually, wait, that's a bad idea. Hang on. Right now we're just losing money, so... Boo. Actually, you know what we're going to do first? We're going to exit and reopen the game to see if that fixes the newspaper. Yes. Because actions have consequences, you see. Okay, no random game crashes. That's a good sign. Now, newspaper. Newspaper! The strike's over, everybody! Everything's fine! Hypertension is linked to midget widget! Life is great! With the midget widget! I mean, that's weird. That's very weird. Even by the standards of SimCity newspapers, that's strange. I've actually seen that one before. That turned up yesterday. Uh, corrosive news for the locals of Thailand. Insurgent rebels continue to make good on threats to infiltrate the supply depot, using unconventional, not to mention inexcusable, means involving strongly trained piranhas and carbuncle removers. The tragic group shelled their target. Nicholas Caro, owner of Wendell's and vice president of the Twitchton chapter of the International Earwax Build-Upus Committee, is collecting food and dollars for affected victims of earwax build-upus in Thailand. Donations might be brought to t-shirts and tights at Martin Street overpass across the street from the blank. Oh, where? Martin Street overpass. I mean, if we had any overpasses, I would... Where's Martin Street? This is going to be Martin Street now. Martin Street. Which I think is a closed loop. No, not quite. Well, let's take a look at the bonds. Because what I'm seeing here is that the national rate is what determines the next bond. So what we're going to want to do is actually wait and check that every year. Because if we can get a bond with a lower rate, and it changes by 1 to 2% annually. So if we can get a bond with a lower rate, then we should take that out and repay this one, which will reduce our payments. And hopefully, in turn, get us out of this hole that we've sunk ourselves into. Or more to the point that I've sunk myself into. I don't remember what it is. Let's see. I'm not really seeing any way out of this, except hopefully, I mean, there is something that we can do, actually. Pardon me? Anybody else hear that just now? Oof. That's the exact moment the power plant exploded. Yeah, we're in decline. We're actually in a steady decline right now. actually, hold on. Let's take another look at this. Federal rate over the last 100 years. Oh my gosh, what? It's gone up? Well, that blows. That hardly seems fair. Right, well, before this gets any further out of hand, let's develop the city. We've got some money, and we are in a death spiral otherwise, which means it's time to build. And build quite a bit, if at all possible. First, let's get this back in some semblance of order. At an even 9% across the board. Well, let's give it 8%, make sure that people are actually still living here by the end of this. I'm not actually sure that we need this bypass road here, so we might delete that later. But at least for right now, I'm going to put down some more industrial down here. And I can't see a gosh darn thing that I'm doing, so... Hopefully having that weird little hill road there isn't going to screw us over later. I think it might be... Well, I think it's probably going to be best to actually build some... Oops, no. Some industry down along this area. I don't like the idea of filling this up with that. But I'm not sure we have much choice in the matter at this stage. So let's just develop really, really quickly and hope for the best. I don't love the layout of these weird side roads, but I don't think I can do better at the moment. So, again, hope for the best. That should be all right. Yeah, I think I want to remove this. In fact, I may want to take this whole thing out. And instead, just run sort of a block system like this. We are going to leave that tile there because it's going to provide for a little bit more commercial right here. basically what we're going to do at this point is sort of the easy bake SimCity. We are going to lay everything out in advance and then just let the city build itself in as quickly as it can. And that's probably going to be the only way we get out of this, this hole that we've dug. That should all be covered. That's definitely covered. These parts are also definitely covered. That's covered, and that's not, but that is. Let's bring the road one more tile further forward. Okay, now we need power. So we're just going to run all the way along here like this. So I think that should be just about good on that. Let's water it all up. And inevitably at some point we're going to run into the same problem with the water pumps as we did before, so probably want to put another couple of those down. And they are going to go along here. And that space is just going to kind of be reserved for water production, I suppose. Connect to the mains there. Alright, so that's a solid little bit of redevelopment, which is hopefully going to be enough to keep up with the demand. Not from the city, but from the loan, the bond. Alright, let's let it run and see what happens. So we're still losing a crap load of money for now, which is certainly not a shock, but it definitely sucks. The energy conservation ordinance is seriously hurting us, but we can't afford any more power. Same with pollution controls, we can't really deal with not having that. What let's do is enable the sales tax again. I don't want legalized gambling because that's going to make our crime go up, which is going to make the police payments go up, which is going to make everything else even worse. That doesn't cost us anything. Okay. Give commerce a break. Yeah, we already don't have any commerce. Not particularly. We've set up a new area that the city is going to expand into. And that expansion is currently in process. Gas power! Gas power! Gas power. That might be worth it. And so has Dr. Wright, the brain behind the invention. Oh, gas power arrives, and so has Dr. Wright. Dr. Wright, who had been making ends meet for the last 4 years by painting houses with the help of the children from his wife's daycare business, was unnecessarily relieved that gas power terribly took off. My reputation as a painter was chipping away faster than Piranha with a twisted ego, the witty man observed. Even without promotion, gas power is likely to become a part of standard living within the next 12 years, experts think. When you think about it, fluffed one expert, gas power is really long overdue. Yeah, it's 1955. I could have done with this 5 years ago, you know. So on that note, let's find out about gas power. 50 megawatts, 50 megawatts, $2,000. Natural gas, much cleaner than coal. Well, I mean, it kind of sucks. And it's still got a lifespan, so we might want to invest in it later, but at least as of right now, we can't afford to switch out our power plant after the major expense that it cost in the first place. Alright, industry is up. But the new area hasn't all been fully built yet, so let's check the budget. 8% across the board. Commerce is still fleeing like crazy, no surprise there. Well, we need more industry, so industry we shall have. That's going to be industry. And in fact, so will that. And that should already be watered, I believe. Yeah, already watered. The bond payments are acceptable, but pretty much all of the services want more money. Oh, significantly more. That's concerning. All right. Might be time to invest in another grade school. How much are those? 250. Alright, so that's where the grade school is going to live. Right there. Here. We will also have some more dense residential here. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, the time has come. We've run out of power. Oh no. Oh no. We actually have reached the point where we can't expand anymore. Uh-oh. We need more power, and we don't have money for more power. Oh no. Oh crap. Alright. The time has come to cheat. So what we need to do is put down three of those And 3 of these. Which is a bit expensive, but that's already, what, even 100 and... Yeah, that's 120 megawatts of power. This thing only puts out 400. Costs 500 for this, and these will never explode or otherwise run out, and they also don't pollute. So, like, there is no downside. Which is why I was trying to steer clear of just powering everything with hydro. I wanted to be fair, you know? But at this point, I don't think fair is an option. I don't think we can win with fair. I don't think we could survive with fair, for that matter. So, that means... Actually, let's check the power layout. Yeah, seriously. Power currently going everywhere. This is operating at 100% capacity. Maximum system output 60. What? 60? Oh, right, it's only 20. Yeah, I'm wrong. But still, the fact that they never run out means that they never, like, they will never stop being a good investment. The earlier that you invest in hydro, the more powerful it is. And honestly, I actually do really like using hydro plants to like fill space in areas like this. Just like fill these up with waterfall tiles and just have a big hydro dam on the side of a hill in the middle of the city, even though that makes no sense at all. So, we can tax industry a little bit more than we have been. Oh man, really cutting it close here, guys. Dense industry, please. Rescue me, dense industry. Save me. Save me from my bad decisions. Dense industrial zoning. Alright, so that's going to fill in. We're going to have a little bit more tax revenue from that. Not a lot. Definitely not enough to cover for our deficit right now. Which is not ideal. There's a little bit of room we can cram in some more. Oh no! I mean, this is just going to keep sapping us forever. So we should issue a bond and then immediately repay the previous bond. Because the bank rate has gone down by 1%, which is actually $100 of burden off of the city as of right now. And we do actually still need to make up that shortfall somewhere. So let's see what we can do. We're going to have to reduce funding for education. We're going going to need to reduce a little bit of firepower. We want this at the lowest adequate range. So 30% is the lowest we can get away with. Whoa, now. Oh, we've been overpaying quite a lot. Well, that's good at least. So 40% is actually satisfactory there. We can reduce this spending a little bit. Not a ton, but some. Okay, so 35% is the lowest we can get away with there. We have a crime rate comparable to the national average, which is to say crime exists here now. Judge Dredd can't keep up with it. Alright, now are there any services we can cut off? Energy conservation, business advertising, neighborhood watch, free clinics. We need the volunteer fire department because I don't want to pay for that if there actually is a fire. That would really, really suck. We can cut the business and tourist advertising. Drugs, reading, CPR, neighborhood watch, sales tax, gambling, and we're making a profit. Oh man, I feel scummy doing this. I just feel gross. Let's turn off energy conservation and homeless shelters. Oh, this is really ugly. We're just gonna have to be kind of a little bit of a gross city for a little while here. And we're gonna have some rolling brownouts for a while because we can't afford more hydro for another couple of years. Oh, frick. Oh, this is so bad. This has gone so wrong. Okay, so that'll let us get back on our feet a little bit faster. No public smoking ban, no junior sports, no carnival. Yeah, we're just gonna make money on this. That's all we're gonna do right now. It's gonna be bad. City services to cover the deficit budget. Screw you! Crime is out of control. So I'm not entirely sure, but I think I just legalized the purge. Okay, so we can't afford more police stations, but we can do we can put the volunteer neighborhood watch stuff back in. Neighborhood watch, turn off legalized gambling because that causes a lot of crime. And we'll keep that for now. Let's see, how are you feeling about this? Anti-drug, let's see. Homeless shelters is probably contributing as well. Ultimately, I think we actually just need another police station. Like, I don't think there's any amount of funding that will make this problem go away. So let's maximize profits for the moment. Yeah, that's brought us up a little bit. Twitchton is flourishing! You guys, did you know that this is what a flourishing city looks like? Crime is everywhere. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, it's bad. Encouraging lending. Okay, the federal bank lowered its rate this week. Yeah, I'm so proud. I'm delighted. Bond market. New federal rate. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna try and check another bond, see if we can get that price down further, because that would be excellent. Okay, we've matured from a buzzing metropolis to a bustling municipality. With a population of over 10,000, the county has more than earned a city hall, which will be donated by commerce and industry officials in Twitchton. Commerce and industry constituents, the vlog supported the mayor, claiming he makes Twitchton a great place to do business. As soon as Mayor Cog the Cat designates the spot for the new city hall, the structure will be erected, standing quickly as a sign of Twitchton's growth and prosperity. KSIM broadcasters slowly reported that the above incident never happened and that the involved parties were vacationing at the time. Okay, well, let's get that slowed back down and figure out where we want my new fancy city hall. Wow, that is some serious tax money coming in. Alright. We can get away with raising the residential rate right now, I think. The people are asking for a pollution ordinance. You know, I bet they are. I just bet. Outstanding. Next bone 5%. Outstanding 5%. Okay, so that's not going to do us any good. We're in the same boat right now as we were before, unfortunately. Crime remains out of control. Fire response is fine. So, I mean... this is interesting. While expensive, free clinics will make you popular. I don't quite follow why popular is a good reason to do free clinics. I mean, I like free clinics. I will absolutely be reinstituting free clinics as soon as we have the money. Free clinics are good. Makes the cost of running hospitals lower. Goodness knows that's already expensive enough. And we are finally in the black again. So what we need to do is put some water down in preparation for the new hydro plants. We're going to be getting over the next few years to cover the shortfall. We can't expand until we have enough power to run what we have already. We can't get more power. Uh-oh. What's that? Oof. They actually have to work for money now. Before it was enough just to have the building. We're still fine on water, which is good. Excuse me. We're absolutely not fine on our crime rate, though. Crime has gone up across the city. And police power is non-existent. Okay, well, that's not surprising. Pollution is worse. Land value is still high, which is a little surprising, but I'm not going to complain. Fire departments are adequate, but not good. Population density is fine, rate of growth negative. Yeah, we are out of power. Oh, and there's buildings that aren't watered yet. Oh. That's troubling. Traffic is surprisingly good, other than right here. Okay, well, our massively inflated crime rate is going to eventually catch up to us, but for now it's fine. No, it's okay, because it's almost the 60s. Raise taxes! Crime is out of control! And raise the taxes! A public smoking ban would benefit everyone. Yes, it would. But we can't afford it. Alright. So we have to put more hydropower in. Because that's going to power the industrial park that isn't complete yet, which will in turn bring in more revenue, which will in turn let us maybe hopefully weasel our way out of this hole we've dug. Hopefully. Raise taxes, pollution ordinance, crime is out of control! More firemen, okay. Oops. Have more firemen. Adequate fire response. General CPR training will assuredly save lives. Yes, but I can't afford it. Nuclear power. Right. Nuclear power. Naysayers say nay. The most recent crime wave in Twitchton has stirred a bitter child to build a neighborhood patrol program. The group, dubbed Nay Gun for not any of you gonna upset no one. That's a mouthful. Has recruited a reformed evangelist to lead the meetings. With her expertise, we can build a more threatening group, the child explained. To be fair, evangelicals are pretty threatening. Nay Gun hopes to intimidate nasty guys and slash Twitchton's escalating crime rate, but they know their efforts won't alleviate the lack of police protection currently in Twitchton. This is just a temporary measure to give our residents some peace of mind. Local celebrity Alan Utley was also seen at the scene, saying, "This should really clean my career." Well... Subway clobbered. The city is delaying plans to expand on public transit. You know what? That's actually true. I want the subway, but it is sort of clobbered, it's true. Duck season vote. Alright, one more of those, and then we're going to focus on just making money again. Yeah, we don't want more bonds right now because the rate has gone up. So with a rate hike, we definitely want to stay away from that. We'll raise the residential tax rate since we've got demand for that right now. Hopefully that won't blow back on me too hard too quickly. Oh, I don't like that sound. That sound means everything is bad. Alright. I don't think we have a choice, we just need to put another one of these down. Why do I have an extra $1,000? What happened? I mean, I'm certainly not going to complain, but I'm very confused. 500 megawatts for $15,000. I mean, setting aside that we can't afford that, it's not a bad deal, actually. Clean, efficient, relatively cheap. And it risks a meltdown, which leaves permanent radioactive debris everywhere, which is, I mean, we don't want that, of course. Oops, no, not a coal plant. So that should hold us for a little while on power. We'll need 10 of those to replace the coal plant by the year 2000. I mean, the city is relatively stable right now, which is good. He said, watching an entire industrial district go out of business. $330 arrests out of 1,641 crimes. You still need more. Heck! Keep that down to 30. Adequate, adequate, adequate. Alright. Well, that is Judge Dredd's home base over there. I wonder if that changes this as well. No, it's actually specific to that one. Nice. Excuse me. Everything was so idyllic until everything went to crap with that stupid bond. Deficit spending is a killer, you guys. Yeah, that one could be a RoboCop. You know what? Yeah. RoboCop and Judge Dredd. I love it. I love it. It's good. It's perfect. Now, police power is very limited right now. Crime is here. Crime lives here, and a little bit here. Okay, well, I can't really do anything about that, so just wipe that tile out, and that'll make room for another police station up on the hill. I want to curve out a spot for one over here, but I think that's going to be a little bit dangerous in terms of costing thousands and thousands of dollars. Oh no. Oh, it's so bad. Oh no. And that's all of our money. Terraforming sucks, man. Okay, and we can bulldoze 3 of those buildings. 3 tiles worth of buildings. Yeah, okay, the tax problem has caught up with me. Which is, of course, going to decrease our revenue, unfortunately. So, oops. Police here and police here. No? Oh, right. I don't have the money. Well, this is weird. That's not supposed to be able to happen. Wonder how that little hole in the universe occurred. Well, let's see if this guy's happy. 5% is adequate for this. 0%. So really, he just wanted another police station right there, and now he's happy. Okay, well... How much does the neighborhood watch cost? 19. That is actually cheaper than paying for the police. Our crime rate is comparable to the national average. Okay, well, let's see if we can reduce that. Okay, so what's happening there is that at 0%, the presence of the police force exerts like a sphere of influence over the city, and as long as all of the crime-ridden areas are within that area or within that range, then there is no crime, or like there is no noteworthy amount of crime, even if you don't pay the cops. Now, the situation that we're in right now is that we have enough to keep the crime rate down, but we don't have enough coverage to cover everything. So what we should do is put another police station down here as we initially planned, and that actually should be adequate to completely stop the problem. If we put it right here, that should actually cover just about everything. And extend police power. The only place that I'm concerned isn't going to be covered is this area over here, and possibly down by the docks, but I don't think that's a concern until we expand into that area, at which point we can put up another police station. All right. Check for a lowered bond rate. Nope. So that's unlikely to go any lower, but we can still hope. Weep. All right. So we'll hook that up to road system, and we'll actually connect. Oh no. We need $70 to complete that. But then we can start expanding up onto this hill a little bit more and get, hopefully get the city growing again. And in the meantime, we should check the crime rate. Yeah, so it looks like it is just that that area down by the docks that's causing the only crime we have. And there is literally nothing we can do about that at this point. We just have to wait. Probably will end up wanting to put one up on the hillside or something, just to provide some coverage to this region, but we'll have to actually... Yeah, it really is, isn't it? Crime is rampant down on the docks. Actually, you know what we might want to do is flatten some of this out and put it here instead, because that would be a little bit more... That'd be an easier reach, I think. Excuse me. Pardon my horrendous sounds. Thank you, game. Crime Alley. And we'll call this Center Street, because Center Street is literally always a street that's nowhere near the center of town. So demand is down, which is probably because taxes are up. Got our traffic problems back again after all this time. I suppose we were due for a dose of that. So yeah, no surprise, the crime rate is pretty much exactly where we thought it was. Is up everywhere we thought it was. It's weird, we're not making as much money on this as we were before. Or at least we don't seem to be. I could be wrong. Yeah, got a little bit of crime at Crime Alley, no surprise there. Mostly right there. Smack in the middle of the old docks. And here as well, which is weird because there's a police station right there. Police power. Yeah, I mean, this is all pretty thoroughly covered, actually. With that in mind, I don't think there's much we can do. Right. Well, we've got $350 to our name. Burning a hole through my pocket. So let's put down some light residential, because obviously. You know, now that I think about it, the roads guy is probably complaining about this and this stretch right here, because those two spots are literally the only places in the entire town where the roads exist but aren't really being used other than the area that we just built. Looks like this district is not doing the greatest, though. Land values are good, though, so that's a pleasant surprise. The sound is glitching a little bit, which has led us to some lovely little jazz riffs by accident. I think I want to bring the industrial tax rate down a little bit, because 7% of nothing is still nothing, basically. What is this thing? Mini mall. Yeah, I guess I see it. A little on the small side to be able to make out enough detail. Ooh, that's a very large abandoned building. Medium crime, medium pollution. Oh wow. The land value just drops off on one side of this thing. Crazy. Chemical processing plant. I assumed that the land value was persistent across the entire building's footprint, but it looks like it's actually still per tile. Should probably think about another hospital at some point, but not now. The entire town's gone to crap. And can't really do much about it. I'm just sort of barely holding even with this stupid bond. Just give me a lower bond rate. I want a lower rate, please. We're gonna have that bond for probably the foreseeable future. If we can get out from under it and get some power infrastructure, then we might not have that problem again later, but it's gonna be hard getting there. I do like this little area we've nestled ourselves into, this kind of little quiet, peaceful valley. I mean, I say peaceful, but it's practically Gotham City in here. Oh, come on, I want to look at the boat. First light. Oh, hey. First light is still there. 63 boats. I wonder if it's worth putting another marina down up here. Probably not. So yeah, we need a minimum of 10 hydro to replace the one coal plant. Oof. Which means we can probably put down one every 2 years, and we need a couple additional beyond that. So, boy, I don't know, guys. I mean, investing in hydro is obviously the thing to do, but until we can get out from under the bond, I don't know that we can afford it. We're gonna have to just keep saving money. Okay, sorry about that. Let's see, fire response is adequate. Education is adequate. Road guy wants me to have less roads because I don't know. We absolutely have to be out from under the bond by no later than the year 2000. Like, we do not have a choice. We have to get out from under it. Because if we don't, then the power plant's going to blow up, we'll have rolling brownouts, and nothing that we can do about it. What I'm thinking we may want to do is wait until we can pay this bond off, see if we can get a better credit rating. If we can't, then take another one. I mean, we can. Oh, man, this sucks. Just gonna have to let that go down on its own because we can't take another bond if it's the same amount. Doop doop doop. The money coming in is decent. Raise the residential rate again and keep everything else down. So we need $5,000 to replace all of the power requirement, to fully meet our power requirement with hydro, with a little bit of extra. So it's not going to quite be there. Okay, look, cop guy, either crime is or it is not out of control. I'm not paying you, so not sure what you want from me, dude. $2,000. Oh! Oh, heck yes! Issue a bond, repay the oldest bond. Oh, heck yeah! Oh, that's gonna get us a long way back towards where we want to be. Oh, that's superb. I'm so glad I checked that. If that goes down to 2%, I think we're golden. I doubt that it will. I'm sorry about the crime rate. I'm sorry, Twitchton. I'm so sorry. Cut back on services until funds increase. How about we just tax people more? Excuse me. Look, Judge Dredd and RoboCop freaking live here. How could the crime rate be this bad? Okay, commercial demand is recovering. It's not recovered yet. Check the bonds, no change. Oh man, we're actually gonna do it. We're actually gonna manage. Oh, heck yeah. Oh, and the rate is back up again. Ah, what a shame. Yeah, that's all fine. Let's see if we can do anything about the crime rate. Yikes. Yeah, no, they do. But like, if you look at the police power, it's not overlapping Crime Alley at all. And then there's this whole area that isn't being touched either. But weirdly enough, there is no crime near the elementary school. You know what? I know how to fix this. I know exactly how to fix this. Batman. So we have Judge Dredd, Batman, and RoboCop protecting our city. To be perfectly honest, it doesn't seem that effective so far, but you know what? It's the 70s. It's, you know, it's fine. We're about to go into a period of sim Reaganomics, and everything's going to go straight down the toilet, I'm sure. Crime is out of control. So, but the thing is, though, I can pay you $400 every year, and you will still make the same complaint. I genuinely wonder how much money we've saved by not paying them. Because, like, I'm not sure it would be any better if we did. Ooh. Our crime rate is comparable to the national average. You can tell because we changed nothing and it was out of control before. It's so weird how that works. Or how it doesn't work, I guess. Cut back on services. You know, this is cut back, dude. Well, okay, maybe not. Oh, yeah, you know what? We can skate by with a little bit extra. Not much, but a little. Thanks, tax guy. Oh, we got the giant car park. Parking lot. Commercial high density. Which is, I mean, that's a great thing that takes up an entire city block the size of several skyscrapers all clustered together. I mean, someone's obviously making a bundle on that, but it's not me. Ooh, yeah, we need more firemen. Okay. So basically we had 1 year where things were slightly less expensive. Desal, hey. What's the difference between New Jersey and Roberta? Asked business tycoon Kirk Adams of New Jersey in a recent press conference. Desalinization plants, he gloated. The fair-humored, though carefully inflated speaker had cause to celebrate the innovation. Mayor Davis supported us all the way. We both wanted to share the glory of being the first to solve the problems posed by desalinization plants, and indeed we are, he expanded. The introduction of desal plants into New Jersey is just the beginning. We will see desalinization plants spread to all corners of the earth. So those are useful. We won't worry about building them just yet. Want to get out from under the debt that we're in, but once that's done, yeah. Okay. Oof. Yeah, we've got We've got a crime problem. Mottled smog. A curious yellow fog descended over Twitchton. Yeah, I mean... we gotta get that pollution ordinance back in place. City is in a very bad place right now. But unfortunately we've got some serious problems that we need to deal with first. You're gonna die! Dateline Hamburg, the behemoth's indiscriminate palate enjoyed... Oh, okay, so that's a critter. Wow, 800 temps to help drain the road of thieves. So this is interesting. They're hiring temp cops en masse, like quite a lot of them, with no money at all. We still literally have not given them any sort of money at all. Professor Xavier, the renowned inventor of the llama clamp, has announced a breakthrough of astounding import. After 6 years of painstaking research, Dr. Xavier has developed the wind turbine. So yeah, we've got wind power now. Ooh, and a new building graphic. Excuse me. Commerce and residential. It's gonna go badly, I'm sure, but let's give it a shot. This is a very pretty building. Oh, we're so close. Oh, we are so close, you guys. So we need to pay off the bond ASAP, and then as soon as that's done, we need to put some surplus power in place so that when the power plant explodes, we won't just be completely screwed. Wow, 7%. Oof. Real glad we're not in that position anymore. Okay, let's check the... So we should have the bond gone this year. 1987 is the year that we were out of debt. We have 15 years. Oh, man. We have 15 years before the power plant destroys itself. But I want it to be gone. Okay. Bond payments. Whew. That's it. That's it. We did it. So we have how many of these already? 6. So that's going to be the 10 that replaced the old power plant, and then we'll build another, what, 4? And that'll meet our current needs. actually have some money. 5 more. Okay. So now, power plants. 4 megawatts. So this is actually determined per map ahead of time, and it's randomized, so there's no way to tell until you're actually there. So in this case, it's 4 megawatts per $100, which is worse than hydro currently. So we need to fill this up with hydro power, and then we can start actually getting the city back on track, finally. And just in time, too. It's almost 10 o'clock. So this is funny. Sometimes you actually can't tell which buildings are abandoned because some of the industrial buildings just look like crap. I think it's a very pretty looking sprite. I think it's very competently done, but it looks exactly like these disgusting abandoned buildings. Yes, what is it, Judge Dredd? What would you like to tell me? 74 arrests with no officers. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I'm impressed. Well, the reported crimes have gone way down, so that's novel. So we can probably put up 2 of these per year. Whew. Not a moment too soon either. It's 1990 already. I'm just gonna real quick save the game so that in case it blows up we won't be completely screwed. Yikes. Don't know if you guys heard those interesting audio glitches that we're having still now. Oh gosh, why? One, two, three. All right, 1 more year, and then we're done building those for a little while. And then we can finally focus on getting the city back in shape. So we can currently support... Ooh boy, don't crash, please. So these can go back to actually taking money instead of giving it. And we're still turning a profit. Hot dang. We're back in shape. We're back in shape. I don't know that we'll ever get the crime problem back under control until we get more like an actual physical station on the other side of town. Which is a bit of a shame. See what we can do about improving the quality of health care and fire response so that we don't have anything blow up on us now that we can afford it. Okay. All right, so our power needs are completely met. Now we can finish this road. From, I don't even know how long ago now. And again, let's just save. this lovely little Motown piece. The game seems to like breaking out at moments like this. And you know what we can finally do now? Finally, after all of this time, is we can finally zone some more residential. Solar power! Oh, brilliant. Okay. Funky smog. Thug held. Pot shots. Hijacking at pot shots. Where, what is pot shots and where? The key ingredient is parental support. Oh boy. Okay, well, let's decide where pot shots is located. Pot shots is going to be a commercial building. So where do we have commercial? Pot shots. Office building, warehouse, office building, gas station, warehouse. I'm thinking I want pot shots to be the name of this gas station. Pot shots, right there. And that's going to confuse me in a couple of weeks when I come back to the save file and don't know what I named that for. Okay, well, let's get that residential zoning done, hey? Let's see, we want to continue expanding residential in this area because that'll keep the land values up. Let's level this off. It'll make it cheaper to build the road. Let's level that as well for later. What else? We should probably flatten this because that's going to be a really good place to put things generally. It's going to cost just all of the money. I want to see how much we can get reassembled in the next little bit. Fire department wants more money. Let's see if we max this out. Do we get anything? No, we don't get anything out of that. And we're back to not paying the cops. So that's great. That's fantastic. $46 to spare. Nice. Can probably get away with a little bit of additional tax. Not much. Boo. Boo. I mean, I'm not making that much on industry right now. So it looks like they're not... industries aren't actually running away from Twitchton at the moment, so I'll leave their tax rate where it is for the moment. We'll run another piece of road. Well, let's not worry about that just yet. I do apologize for the nose sounds over here. clear down through that warehouse, this current location. I'm not going to do it quite yet, but that's where it's going to be. And we're going to build that up, and that should be fine. That'll get us built over to here. And we can actually probably put some service buildings over there, maybe another police station and a fire department. But let's do zoning first. Whatever we can afford. Because apparently we're gonna have to be a little stingy for the next little while. I'm afraid we'll have to go waterless for the next little while. On account of I can't afford another pipe. Alright. I'm gonna go a little late tonight since I started a little late. I can probably squeeze these both for another % this year. Probably not after that, but for now. Okay, so that's the water mains assembled. Well, not quite. Just put that there so I don't forget to do it later on. And now back to zoning. Now back to the zoning show! All zoning, all the time. Well, that's going to annoy me. Let's get that building as soon as possible. Granted, I can't get a building very much just yet. But we're at least back in expansion mode, which is exactly where we want to be. We want to always be growing as much as we can. Sometimes you can't grow, and that's okay. That's where we were for the last 50 years. But things are better now, and we're gonna make use of it. What? Flood. Where is this happening? Oh no, it's a devastating flood! Oh no, whatever will we do? Okay, flood's over. And I missed the news article about it because I accidentally hit a button to change speeds and it dismissed it. But I assume it was going to talk about how dangerous and horrible the flood was that destroyed our town and did so much damage to everything. And yeah, I know. It's a terrible oversight. It's devastating. It's bad. It's horrendous. How could this have happened on my watch? So in the last little bit of this. So do these holiday seasons will later systems? Okay. Clean, cheap, unreliable. 1,300 for 50 megawatts, which is still not as good as hydro. Come on, man. Like, that's not how this works. So this area up here looks like it's going to be about as lucrative as I'd hoped. And I think we're probably going to be good on industry for a while. Like I just don't think there's going to be that much demand for it. Which honestly is a good thing, because the pollution controls are already horrifically expensive. I know, let's raise taxes. That's all you ever want to do, you just raise taxes all the time. I'm curious what this guy's going to be. These big high-density buildings. They always look really nice. High-density graphics. You know, we should probably eventually finish this. Now that I'm looking at it, it's just like, well, why didn't we do this before? Oh yes, that's what we were going to do down there. We were going to level this. Spend all the money. Oh, are you kidding? $497? Are you actually joking me? Frick. Well, I can afford 3 more tiles of that. Shut up. Ha ha. To be fair, I completely deserve that. It's looking pretty nice so far, honestly. I like it. It's a very nice little town. About another 5 minutes. Let's not raise taxes. What say? Okay. Are you capable of lowering the crime rate now that I have built you another police station? You are not capable of lowering the crime rate. Are you kidding me? How can that not be enough, huh? How? Hey, industrial demand is recovering a little. a 2% hike and see what happens. So this is, ooh. Oh, hey! Corporate headquarters for KSIM! Commercial, high density, 450 feet. Altitude, $225,000 per acre, which is bonkers. Low crime, low pollution, powered and watered. And now we know where KSIM lives. By the way, I believe that the appearance of KSIM and their headquarters building means that we might start seeing the SimCopter flying around soon. Which is good. Let's see, what do we need to do now? We need a library. And that will fit over here where nothing else really goes. Hey. Educational funding. Health and welfare funding. Fire department funding. Judge Dredd over here is keeping up just fine with no money at all. Yeah, I think I like where that is right now. Plant nearing death. Uh-oh! Oh no! Compliant to the local laws of physics stating the Grand Llama equals 7 squared over MCE, any form of power generation will expire exactly 50 years after erection. Except for the ones that are a little bit cheaty, like the hydroelectric dams, which just sort of exist forever. So, you know, I mean... Pollution. Cars, okay. So it looks like the public transit is the main problem with pollution at this point. Ugh, excuse me. Lane Market. Twitchton Farmers Market on Main Street. Cletus Bryant is our hero. Because... okay. Generational clash. That's not particularly entertaining. Okay, we were thinking of putting the museum up here, yes? And this is the... oh, it was a library, not a museum. Grade F. Cities are not people, but like people, cities have their own personalities. In some cases, one city has many different personalities. There are a dozen Londons, a crowd of different New Yorks. A city is a collection of lives and buildings, and it has identity and personality. Cities exist in location and in time. There are good cities, the ones that welcome you, that seem to care about you, that seem pleased you're in them. There are indifferent cities, the ones that honestly don't care whether you're there or not. Cities with their own agendas, the ones that ignore people. There are cities gone bad, and there are places in otherwise healthy cities as rotten and maggoty as windfall apples. There are even cities that seem lost, with some lacking a center, feel like they would be happier being elsewhere, somewhere smaller, somewhere easier to understand. excuse me. Some cities spread like cancers or B-movie slime monsters, devouring all in their way, absorbing towns and villages, swallowing boroughs and hamlets, transmuting into boundless conurbations. Other cities shrink, once prosperous areas empty and fail. Buildings empty, windows are boarded up, people leave, and sometimes they cannot even tell you why. Occasionally I idle time away by wondering what cities would be like were they people. Manhattan is, in my head, fast-talking, untrusting, well-dressed but unshaven. London is huge and confused. Paris is elegant and attractive, older than she looks. San Francisco is crazy, but harmless and very friendly. It's a foolish game. Cities aren't people. Cities exist in location, and they exist in time. Cities accumulate their personalities as time goes by. Manhattan remembers when it was unfashionable farmland. Athens remembers the days when there were those who considered themselves Athenians. There are cities that remember being villages. Other cities, currently bland, devoid of personality, are prepared to wait until they have history. Few cities are proud. They know it's all too often a happy accident, a mere geographical fluke that they exist at all. A wide harbor, a mountain pass, the confluence of two rivers. At present, cities stay where they are. For now, cities sleep. But there are rumblings. Things change. And what if tomorrow the cities wake and go walking? If Tokyo engulfed your town? If Vienna came striding over the hill towards you? If the city you inhabit today just upped and left, and you woke tomorrow wrapped in a thin blanket on an empty plain, where Detroit once stood, or Sydney, or Moscow, don't ever take a city for granted. After all, it is bigger than you are. It is older, and it has learned how to wait. Neil Gaiman. So yeah, there's little bits of stuff like that hidden around in this game. That's my library with 0 books in it, telling us what it thinks. And hopefully that'll make it have houses next to it. And with that, I think we're going to be done for the night. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for participating in Twitchton. And I still plan to make this a fairly regular thing, at least as regular as I can. So hopefully I'll be able to ask you to join me tomorrow as well. We'll come back to Twitchton and see how it's doing, and see if we can start covering more of the map. Lightning Ridge power plant is it's not going to last much longer, but I don't think we need it at this stage. We have the cash flow, and we have the general stability to build more hydro. And we've got some space, we've got room. I often find myself getting caught up in small optimization puzzles. How to make the most city fit onto the same plateau. Trying to cram in just one more little bit of zoning on the hillside. But Twitchton has space to grow. And so grow it we shall. But no more tonight. Tonight we will save the game. And I will see you all later.